Yo. How's everyone going? How's everyone doing? Any polls? Well, that's Blender. He's great. And Skillet is good too. I'm happy that Blender is coming to visit me more. That's awfully nice, Donuts. Congratulations. That sucks, Voltaire. Getting ready, huh? It has, Strider. Yes, Rydia's glint is one of those glints that's good with without anything else. I personally think so. Uh-oh. FFRK claims another waifu puller. I'm sorry to hear. This game does punish people pretty hard for chasing things. Sooner or later, the boogeyman gets you. Well, usually sooner. Yeah, personally, I'd be unhappy with it too. I have a lot of earth weapons. Including 2 Tifa Arcanes. So we got some Japanese festival info last night, huh? It's pretty interesting. It's probably pertinent to people that are planning on pulling on this festival. Yeah, we do have confirmation on the 33 draw. Well, as much as we can get. The banner has been translated in mind, and oh yeah, it's actually in the announcements. Not you. Where is it? Oh well, it's somewhere. Here? No. Where the hell is it posted? There we go. Glorious Relic Draw 33. It's going to be at event time on January 1st. New Year's Lucky is... Actually, I'll go and get you a link to that banner. That's going to be one of those clearance sale old favorites. Not that old favorites means they're bad favorites. Here you go. I will not be pulling on it. It is 25 mithril, but it's not a whole lot on there that I actually want. It's mostly just dupes. Yeah, it is a pretty decent banner if, you know, it's not Dupe City for you. It's only 25 mithril. Which is way too much for... Yeah, it does have a Lars... I think it has a Lars USB? I don't know, let me look. I linked it, but I didn't open it. Yeah, it does. This might change. This was Japan's. And it's possible that it might change because we got Tyro's USB 3 added to our festival. When it wasn't on Japan's festival. So, kind of makes me think that there might be a little something going on there. But, you know, the 6 stars are excellent. Other than my personal distaste for Tyro's USB 3, I still want it because I'm sure it'll be useful at some point. But Cloud USB 1, Bart's USB 1, Orlando USB, and Alara USB 1? Okay. That's a pretty nice top end for a banner. But yeah, I won't be pulling on it. I have Cloud, I have Bart's, I have Alara. Maybe it changes, and I do want to pull on it. We'll see. Thanks a lot, Hexenberg. I'm actually going to talk about that later on in the stream. I think it might be a good idea to talk about the Japanese festival that we just got the information for last night. So I'll do that, and then I'll do the commentaries on Melty Gemini and Manicore. Oh, Manicore. Feels like months since I did Manicore. I think all of this stuff is, right? Animal lens stuff. In a couple days. All right. Well, let me get the browser window set up. And I'll go over this thing. Yeah, maybe. If it's Persona 5 for PC, I'd be super hyped about that. But like a complete edition for a console, not as much. Okay. Check this out. So, before we get started, I want to offer a bit of a warning. This stuff is set to drop in the end of June. The end of June. That is a very, very, very long time away. So please, just keep that in mind when seeing the stuff that we're gonna talk about here, because you're likely going to want to say, "Oh my God, drop everything. We need to save for this." Not that I dislike the idea of saving. I do not think that the festival is that big of a power creep jump as the next one is. So from here to the next festival is a huge jump. And then from the next festival to the summer festival is an incremental jump. And when you're saving and planning on spending, you're not just hoarding. I think it's best to spend Mithril on the bigger jumps. It's actually more of a way to stop yourself from spending on the lower value things like this festival. By this festival, I mean Global's current festival. So, with that said, let's start talking about the first banner of the summer festival, where we have 3 awakenings: Rydia, Alphinaud, and Shantotto. Rydia's awakening is 15 single target, water, earth, holy, non-elemental, summon magic, magic and resistance plus 30% to party. Summoning Awakening. Break damage cap level 1. Means she can do 20,000 per hit on everything that she does during the Awakening, and Trinity Summon to the user. Well, Summoning Awakening mode is just plain old Awakening mode. which means dual cast everything, infinite uses on everything, and a rank boost, a summoning rank boost. That's what Awakening Mode is. But it's for summoning abilities only. So that, I'm not going to go into Awakening Mode because I just did. Because they're uniform across everybody. But the special thing on her Awakening is Trinity Summon. After using 2 Water, Earth, or Holy abilities, chases with 8 single target Water, Earth, Holy, non-elemental summon magic attacks. So that's kind of cool. Well, that's different. That's not Awakening Mode, Andrew. Awakening Mode is uniform across everybody. Break damage cap level is separate from that. Well, there is, as Andrew just brought up, there is a break damage cap too. It's on Kain. Right, he doesn't get, instead he doesn't get dual cast. That's extremely powerful. I do not have the answer to that. I would guess in like the way behavior has worked in the past, I would say no. But awakenings are different. Well, here's my estimate on that. Awakenings do not stack with ability double. So if you used Orlando's Awakening, which is a Night Awakening, I think. No, it's Dark and Holy Awakening, right? And that's Thunder God Awakening. Whatever, man. Well, anyway, if you use his Awakening and his USB together, he doesn't quad cast, he doesn't triple cast, he still dual casts. They don't stack. So my thinking is that just like ability doubles, no, the second cast does not contribute to iterative stuff like that. But anyway, I really like Iridia's Awakening. The magic and resistance plus 30% to party is good for all elements. Summoning Awakening Mode is good for all elements. Break damage cap 1, good for all elements. Trinity Summon, I do not think that Trinity Summon procs when using... Actually, it doesn't matter. I was going to say, I don't think it procs when using multi-elemental summons, but there are none for Water, Earth, or Holy. So that's not even something we need to worry about. So she doesn't get Trinity Summon when using stuff outside those 3 elements, but I still think all of this is, I mean, think about it. What she'll do is she'll Valley Garmanda for 1,000,000 damage and have a chance to triple cast it too. So Valley Garmanda itself is a 60,000 damage cap because of break damage cap 1. She'll cast it twice, that's 120,000, and a 35% chance because of her LM2 to cast it 3 times for 180,000. And that's just for Valley Garmanda as a 3-hit. When you bring in other summons into it, like, you know, Dark Valefor or Lunar Dragon, those are 4 hits. So she goes from 180 to 240,000. But again, not again, I didn't say it once. That's a damage potential rather than the damage you can expect to see out of it. You're probably going to need some nice buffs to make that work. But that is still a very good thing. I mean, we've seen it because Bartz's USB came out or not USB, Awakening came out in the festival previous to this, and it's already been proven that in the right character's hands, Rydia is one of them. Rydia is like a magical summoner Bartz. They can, even without an element, hit those numbers. Because there's a rank boost on the summoning, on Awakening modes. And that plus chains, plus imperils, as long as you provide the support to these characters, they're going to do this ridiculous amount of damage. And they're going to, they're going to cover like two or three DPS by themselves. The nice part about Rydia is summoning encompasses 8 elements. Where, Spellblade, Black Magic only have 6. Summoning does cover Dark and Holy. Yes, Dark is limited to Ultimate Weapon right now, which is a 5-star. But eventually, it most likely will get a 6-star. So, I'm a really, really big fan of this banner. Right from the start, because I see 2 summoning Awakening modes. And summoning is... I remember it used to be like a laughingstock. Just because the number of hones made them really just so difficult to use. Well, summoning is now the most versatile ability school in the entire game. And Rydia and Alphinaud are basically Record Keeper's poster children for summoning. And they're both on this banner with their awakenings. So let's move on to Alphinaud. Strictly wind on entry, but it is not non-elemental, just like Rydia's is, just like all awakenings are. So that does help with the whole Omni Summoner thing. I don't know. Maybe someday. So let's just go take a look, because we know what all of this does. Oh, instead of the matching resistance plus 30% to party, he gets End Wind instead. I prefer Rydia's to this, because I think End Wind is unnecessary. End Wind is something you're going to need if you want to run him chainless and still cap, while Rydia can probably just cap with a chain. So I prefer that, because this is better for all elements, while this is obviously only good for one. So what's Cometeor? After using 3 wind abilities, chases with single target wind non-elemental overflow. So this is a clone of Tidus's Awakening, which is really good, but it's single element focused. He's still going to be really good for the other 7 elements, but he's very, very, very wind focused. So he's a specialist for operating without a chain, which, hey, may be pretty useful. Not everybody has a wind chain. Magical wind chain is still really rare, even though it may appear on this banner. You may not want to devote yourself to pulling heavily on this banner, because there's going to be Autumn Festival and there's going to be Winter Festival coming after these, and people are going to be like, well, I don't want to pull heavily on this festival because did you see Winter Festival? It's going to blow this one out of the water. I'm only going to pull once on this banner, even though right now people are like, well, I'm going to save everything for this. The truth is, people are probably going to pull on this, but just not heavily. Anyway, both of these are good. I prefer Rydia's, though, because as people have seen from my 5-star Magicite clears, I'm a big fan of the whole Omni Mage thing. And I think Rydia makes a better one, because of the way her Awakening works. Next up, we have Shantoto's Awakening. Pretty standard Witch Awakening, which is gross, by the way, Witch Awakening is... It's only dual element, but that's still nasty. Shantoto Trance. Okay, well that's easy. This is a clone of Terra's. Instead of adding a unique status, like Trinity Summoner Cometeor, I hope it's something different for us. Shandoto Trance is something that we actually already have in the game. It's extremely good, but it's exactly what her Legend Materia 2 is. So they wouldn't stack. If you trigger Shantoto's Trance and then use her Awakening, this will overwrite the Trance status. Well, it'll refresh the duration, basically. Oh, really? Well, it will be called that, I suppose. I can't wait. Well, Alphinaud is my son, so I need to get his Awakening. So I will be using Cometeor, hopefully. Anyway, Shantoto's Trance times 3s her cast speed, which is extremely useful for witches, because witch abilities have a longer cast time than soul breaks. And also reduce her defense and resistance. Basically turn her into a glass cannon. Really good if you plan on removing her Legend Materia 2. Or if the fight lasts longer than 30 seconds, because trances only last 25, so you may want it to last longer. So what does Shantoto have for Legend Materias? Oh my goodness. A build-up, magic plus 1% for each BLK hit up to 20%. So she's got her Legend Materia 1, or Legend Materia Relic 1, which is 10% chance to triple cast, which is disgusting with an Awakening. Her Legend Materia Relic 2, which is Star Battle then Lightning, and her Legend Materia Relic 3, which is a build-up. The build-ups are better in Japan. They do get buffed because the attack and magical soft caps get raised. So having more statistics, it has a greater effect on the amount of damage that you do. So you may want to use her triple cast and her Legend Materia 3. And that would be fine. But at the end of the day, it actually may still make more sense to use her Legend Materia 2, because that will at least increase the cast speed of the Awakening itself, which is a lot of time saved. So, those are all options. I personally am not a big fan of this Awakening type, just because it's something she can already obtain. So if you only have one of her Legend Materia relics, then you're basically forced to use her Legend Materia 2 and have these override each other, and you're not getting as much value out of it. I still think it's okay, but it's certainly not, okay, I deal 100,000 damage every 3 turns, or this, which is, what is it? After 2, she gets a 8 hit chase after every 2 abilities used. So I would much prefer those, but it's still good. It's an Awakening. Moving on, we have Fujin getting the second magical wind chain. It's just a clone of Alphinaud's. Well, Fujin's the wind god, so that makes sense. Sure. Oh yeah, the Triple Witch is her best Legend Materia, for sure. So I'll talk a little bit more about Fujin once we get past this, but this is just a chain, whatever. I mean, it's really good, it's a chain, but it's nothing exciting to talk about. So, Garnet's USB 2, 10 single target lightning non-elemental summon magic attack, 75% lightning radiant shield. She's a chain holder, they gotta give her an elemental radiant shield and God Rumble. God Rumble, after using 2 summon abilities, chases with 10 single target lightning and non-elemental magic attacks, and smart summoning at their 1. Well, that's kind of interesting. But I think, like most Radiant Shields, it's kind of underpowered. For prolonged fights, this is going to be great. I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who really, really concentrates on 30-second fights, which kind of reduces the effectiveness of these because the boss takes less actions over the course of the fight. God Rumble seems really good, though. So, I mean, just divide this by 2, and it's basically just giving her a 5-hit chase. And then every 2 you use, you smart F her, which is, pretty nice for a summoner. So, hey, that's okay. Rydia Arcane, this is on the current banner. The one that just launched 45 minutes ago. Fusion Arcane is actually quite old. But it's still an Arcane. Pretty good. And it's for, someone who has a chain on the banner, so yes, very good. Moving on to the single USB on the banner. God, this is so futuristic. 10 single target, win dark magic attacks, and win magic resistance plus 30%. And black magic ability double to the user. Pretty good. Pretty good. It's kind of sort of similar to Maria's more than Vivi and Palam's, though. Because Ultimecia, well, actually, I'll talk about Vivi and Palam. Vivi has a 50% chance to dual cast black magic as part of his trance, while Palam has a just straight up 35% chance to dual cast black magic. Ultimecia is unfortunately different than that, where she has a 35% chance to dual cast wind abilities. So she isn't as black magic omni mage as those other 2, but she's still really good because, like Maria, she can still be used in that capacity. I don't know how good that's going to be, 6 months into the future, but this is still a good USB. Amazing for wind, obviously. Basically a clone of Palam for lightning. A single glint looks like a good glint to me, but at the same time, remember Alphinaud gets M-Wind on his awakening, and with Dark Veilfor already having such a ridiculously high multiplier, it's probably kind of unlikely that he's not going to be capping on everything that he does. So the value of a glint on Alphinaud, in my opinion, is gone down unless you do not get his awakening, in which case this is going to be pretty good. It'll be good with his USB 2. It's a consolation prize. That's the best way I can put it. We got 5 LMRs on the banner. Rydia's LMR, summon damage plus 20% with whip equipped. Well, that's not bad. Water whip. I suppose that is kind of bad. It's good for water. It's more like water summoning damage, because I don't know if she has any other elemental whips. Yeah, her arcane is light armor. Is her Earth Brave on the current banner? Is that a Earth Whip? I mean, this is a good legend materia as long as she's got the whips to use it with. She has an Earth? Okay, well that's better. But remember, she is an 8 elemental character. So all of you that pulled Nabat's USB and got her Dark Whip, Rydia's gonna love that for using Ultima Weapon with. Stockpile of those whips if you want to use a Mega Rydia. I already talked about Shantoto's build-up. Alphino's start battle with Emwind. This is this is positively ancient at this point, but it's still good because Alphino has a couple really good soul breaks that don't grant him Emwind. So the ability to start the battle with Emwind is really powerful. That being his chain and his USB 2. There are a lot of fire whips. That's true. I even have one. Her unique is an ice whip. That is also true, and that would be available for super cheap on for Anima lenses. Her unique. So that's cool. Yeah, maybe it's easier to put these together than I thought. Just gonna have a collection. All right, Garnet. When using Bard abilities, 25% chance to Medica. This is also a super old LMR. Not a bad LMR because I really like Garnet as a Bard, but it's really old. Ultimecia M1 for 25 seconds at the start of the battle. I actually don't think that's good for her at all. I think all of her soul breaks give him wind, and she doesn't have an arcane. She only has an OSB. Does she have an arcane? If she does, then that's different. Okay, so Banner 1. No, it's actually not... It doesn't blow me away. I love Rydia, Alphino, Shantoto, obviously. Their awakenings, even the worst of them, is just obscene power that, you know, we don't even know the half of yet. Fusion's Chain. Garnet's USB is pretty forgettable, but it's still a decent, like, complementary soul break for a good character. The arcanes are good for characters that have good things on the banner. Ultimecia's USB actually doesn't really interest me that much. Alphino's Glint doesn't interest me a whole lot. And Garnet's LMR, Ultimecia's LMR, don't really care. Shantoto's LMR is fine. The build-ups are okay now. So Rydia, Shantoto, and Alphino's LMRs are good. This is just a pretty good banner. I know it seems like it's just an obscene for where we are in the game, for where Global is. But I'm trying to look at this banner through the perspective of a Japanese player and not get, you know, purple haze. And I think this is just a good banner for people looking for wind, and it's kind of top heavy because Rydia and Alphino and Shantoto's awakenings really carry the crap out of it. But by the time this comes out, we'll have, you know, it'll be the age of Odin, and people will probably be trying to put together win teams, and this will probably be a decent banner to go on for that. Though, I think a lot of people are probably going to go the physical wind route. I wonder why. Banner 2. Orlando's Awakening, Terra's Awakening, Kane's Awakening. These are all olds. Therefore, they stink. Obviously kidding. Orlando's Awakening, 15 single target. Holy Dark Non-Elemental, critical chance plus 100%. Par for the course. Thunder God's Might. That's Thunder God mode as we know it, TGM. Thunder God Awakening mode, and break damage cap level 1 to the user. So rather than get, you know, an element and a special chase or something, he gets critical chance plus 100% in Thunder God's Might. Both of which are pretty good. but I would say that they're a little underpowered compared to some of the other stuff that people get on their Awakenings. What Orlandeau gets as a bonus is pretty much Thunder God Awakening mode, rather than someone getting, you know, Fire Awakening or Dragoon Awakening. Thunder God Awakening is Night and Darkness, of course, and whatever. I don't know, it's pretty good. Orlandeau's Awakening is pretty good. Again, he becomes a Holy Dark and Earth character. He stays a Holy Dark and Earth character. Primarily Holy and Dark. Yeah, it's gross. Yeah, Orlandeau's still Orlandeau. Next up, Terra's Awakening. Also old. It's from the 4th anniversary. As I said on the previous banner, Shantoto's Awakening is a clone of this. Except this one obviously has Terra's Trance instead of Shantoto's Trance. Kane's Awakening. 15 single target, Lightning Non-Elemental, and Lightning Dragoon Awakening. Damage cap break level 2. That's unique to Kane. And that's because Dragoon Awakening mode does not dual cast. Unlimited Dragoon Hones, Dragoon ability boost, and instant jump instead. So he is able to cap break to 30,000 rather than 20,000. Which is quite nice because of something the Gaines gets here. Which is a 25% chance to dual cast Dragoon abilities as an LMR 3. Kane can put out some pretty sickening damage with the new Lightning Dragoon ability that just came out about this time. Because he can break cap to 30,000. I believe the new ability is 6 hits? Oh no, this isn't going to have it. I need to update my bookmarks. No, it's not 6 hits. It can't be that good. That would just be... That would be too much. It is 6 hits. What the... Could you leave? I don't... Thank you. Impulse Drive. Alright, the information on it isn't even filled out yet. So, we don't know the multiplier on it. I'm sure it's nasty. I'm sure that whatever Kane is going to do, Enlightening plus Dragoon rank boosts. Wow, I mean, what's Kane's damage potential? 6 hits, 30,000 each. It's 180,000, and he can dual cast it for 360,000 damage a turn. I mean, it's no Bart's, but it's pretty nasty. And with, like I said, with Enlightening and Dragoon rank boost, it's actually really likely that he's going to be hitting that. It's not even like a joke. Spear of Storms, yeah, let's go check that out. After using 3 Dragoon abilities, chases with a single target overflow. So every 3 turns, he just gets a free 100,000 on top of it. So let's add 30,000 a turn, or 33,000 a turn. Pretty good. Pretty good. Orlando's Arcane. Now, because of what we just talked about with Kain, you know, ideally he hits 360,000 damage a turn. As has been pointed out in chat by Hot Drop, that is an arcane. That's more than an arcane every single turn, and that's what it makes this a 75 or 750 soul break point waste of time. Unless somehow the boss has lived past Awakening mode. So what you want instead is something like this. 21 hits on your arcane that also has the ability to break the damage cap to 20,000 on each of these 20 hits. Means that these are the good kinds of arcanes. They age better than this kind. So Orlando Arcane, Kain Arcane, Rem out of nowhere with her Arcane is also a 20 hit, and she does get an Awakening on a previous Final Fantasy Type 0 banner. Golbez USB 2, I'm guessing? Or is that 3? That's 2. That's kind of like a Dark Cecil. Magical Dark Cecil. Kain gets a 6-star glint. I think this is the first time I've talked about one of these on stream. 6-star glints have no soul break cost. They are free. You get to use them once per battle. For free. Well, not completely for free. You have to spend a turn using it. But it's basically just a no soul break glint. They look like they're budgeted to just be plain old glints, except they don't cost any soul breaks. Orlando Glint, critical damage plus 50% and instant cast one user. Well, this is good. For someone who has 100% crit rate, this is always a nice thing to be able to bestow upon yourself if you're unable to get it from your party. So sure, absolutely, this is a good glint for Orlando. Kain's Elamar, obviously, just his ability to dual cast with that 30,000 or level 2 cap break is crazy. Physical damage plus 20% with the sword equipped. I'm not sure I can see him using this very often versus his Elamar 1. Because that's a 25% chance to dual cast, which increases damage potential, which is kind of important. If you do not have his Elamar 1, this is a consolation. This is good, and this is a consolation prize to not having his Elamar 1. Though you can, I think, maybe buy it with Anima lenses. Let's go and see. Those of you unaware of the Anima lens system and would like to learn more about it and what you can buy with the Anima lens system, I'm gonna post a link in chat. You can buy Orlando's Elamar with Anima lenses. Sure. Can't imagine there's many of those fights, but I can sort of believe it. Kain start battle with Enlightening. How do I feel about that? Good. Good. Because his LM2 isn't that great. Well, it's plus 50% attack. It really... I guess I can't judge it, because I don't know... I haven't played with the new attack soft cap, so I don't know how much room he's got to actually grow into it. And that'll determine how good his LM2 is. This will be his most preferred Legend Materia, obviously. And then you fill it in from there. Terra and Fire for 25 seconds to start a battle. Well, this will be good if you only have Kain's Arcane. Same thing for Terra. Otherwise, everything she does gives her in Fire. 25% chance to dual cast. This is a very old Legend Materia, but a very good Legend Materia, so... For those who don't have it, definitely want a chance to get it. So, that's Banner 2. Looks like... There's no real theme here. Dark Holy, side of Earth, Fire, Lightning. Though Terra, by the way, something I have talked about before, but I want to go into for the first time here. Just because it says Fire Awakening mode, yes, you can, Axenberg. Just because it says Fire Awakening mode doesn't necessarily mean that it's locked to fire. Awakening modes are a little different from stuff like this, where it says 25% chance to dual cast fire abilities. Well, technically, Meltdown is a fire ability, right? So if you're using it against Behemoth King, for instance, and hitting for earth damage, even though it's got fire on it, this will not dual cast it because it needs to be dealing fire damage specifically in order for this to be able to trigger. That is not the case with Awakenings. Awakening mode works differently. Awakening mode will trigger as long as the ability has fire on it, even if you are not hitting for fire damage. So if you use Terra's Awakening versus Behemoth King, which is kind of weird, using fire against an earth vulnerable boss, we'll go right ahead, because she will now, rank boost. And, I don't know if she'll rank boost. But she'll dual cast. That's the important part, is that she will dual cast the ability as long as it has fire on it. So that makes Terra into a Penta Elemental character, because she can use Meltdown and Valley Garmanda to hit 4 elements that aren't fire, which would be Wind, Earth, Lightning, and Ice. There we go. So that's something to keep note on the Elemental Awakenings. How do I feel about this banner? Well, it's stuff... What this banner is going to be is... What didn't I get from 4th Anniversary? And oh my goodness, look at Kain. I guess Orlando too. Orlando wasn't in 4th Anniversary. He was in the Tactics event that was basically released concurrently with 4th Anniversary. So this is, stuff revisited, which is good. People are going to need stuff like that, because, I'm going to be spending a lot of Mithril on 4th Anniversary, but I'm not gonna mortgage the house on it. There are going to be a lot of things that I miss, and it would be nice. Alright. Third. Well, initially this banner looks pretty gross. because there's 4 awakenings on it. And they belong to some fairly prominent characters. Cloud, Noctis, Squall, and Sephiroth. So let's take a look at them. 15 single target, Wind Non-Elemental, and Wind Awakening. Break damage cap level 1, critical chance 100%, quick cast, and Cloudy Wolf to the user. Wind Awakening mode, as of right now, Cloud still only has a 5-star Soul Break, or a 5-star Spellblade SB to use. Which is pathetic. But he's gonna lay waste with this, all the same. Pretty standard stuff here. Looks like his USB 1 just not as good yet. The quick cast helps though. Him being able to half all his cast times is good. Let's check out Cloudy Wolf though, because honestly, I'll be frank, this doesn't look that great. And that's because my vision is clouded. I'm so sorry. By Cloud's USB 1. Cloud's USB 1 is damage cap break level 10. So let's go take a look at and see what Cloudy Wolf does. After using 3 wind abilities, grants instant cast 1 and 250 soul break points, deactivates Cloudy Wolf. Well, it's obvious what this is meant for. After using 3 wind abilities, you're gonna have about 400 soul break points. Instant cast 1 and 250 soul break points. They want you to cast the USB 1. So it just works together with it. Well, honestly, I don't think so. No, it's not a huge upgrade. I think that's something that people do need to understand. It's basically give Cloud 100% chance to dual cast. Which is awesome. But Cloud was already extremely powerful. The quick cast is nice. That is true. I mean, there are a lot of good things. It is an improvement. It's just... Cloud was already so damn good that it doesn't seem like that much of an upgrade. When, if you look at him relative to other characters in the game, obviously it's awesome. Alright, so moving on, Noctis. 15 single target, fire, earth, lightning, non-elemental physical attacks. I would just want to say thank you for finally busting Noctis out of that non-elemental hole. He's an elemental character now. Critical chance 100%, Lucius Awakening mode, damage cap break level 1, and royal mode to the user. Now, at first glance you may think, hey, this isn't that great. Noctis can't even use fire or earth abilities. He doesn't have those ability schools. But he does get a balance upgrade where he's able to use Samurai and Heavy. Samurai skills are really good. And Heavy is also pretty good. Lucius Awakening mode is unlimited Fire, Earth, Lightning Hodes. So it's a Fire, Earth, Lightning Awakening, basically. His Legend Materia well, we know his Legend Materia 2 is really good. It's haste and cast 3 at the start of the battle. That works with anything. Legend Materia 1, PHY attacks deal 10% more damage. Again, good for everything. He does get an LMR on this banner. PHY attacks deal 20% more damage when equipping a sword. That's an upgrade over his LM1. Good. But as far as I know, Noctis hasn't been changed in his Legend Dive, where he's still, unfortunately, combat damage plus 9%. I'm hoping this gets changed, but no word on that yet. If that is true, that does kind of remove some of his, a pretty decent part of his damage potential. He's just, other characters are going to be able to do what he does better than him. However, this does make him more than a Super Soul Break bot in the Final Fantasy 15 tournament. So let's at least rejoice for that. Squall's Arcane, 15 single target, Ice non-elemental. Oh no. Not Arcane, Awakening. You know what this means? 4 events from now, Squall is going to get Awakening number 2. That's going to be Fire non-elemental. It's just going to be a Fire version of this. On Ice, Ice Awakening mode, break damage cap level 1, quick cast, Blasting Freeze. What is Blasting Freeze? Oh wait, we didn't look at Royal mode. Quick cast when status is removed, chases with single target. Fire, Earth, Lightning, non-elemental, overflow, physical attack multiplier is dependent on number of abilities used during it. I'm not impressed. So he gets a single attack after 15 seconds? I mean, no. There's other characters with Awakenings in this very festival that get, every 3 turns they get that single, overflow ability. That just seemed, well, at least it's quick casts. Like, this is hiding here. Like, Cloud has his outside of his status. That's, I guess he sacrifices an overflow hit for a quick cast. I actually, that's probably better. So, hey. Alright, have fun adulting. Untamed. The unassuming quick cast inside. So I don't want to belittle the status. Noctis Arcane 2. Fire Throne Weapon, huh? Oh wait, no. We're still on Squall. What the hell am I doing? What's Blasting Freeze? When status is removed and however many ice abilities are used during it. Chases... Okay, so it's a build-up chase. 10 single target ice non-elemental attacks, single target overflow with a 50% crit rate. I wonder, it'll have to be tested whether this is triggered during the Awakening or after the Awakening ends. So we'll have to see if these 10 single target attacks can break the damage cap with his Awakening. Otherwise, it's just at the end of the awakening a potential 200,000 damage, which isn't anything special. Yeah, if it's still under the awakening effect at that, then that's pretty good. Not just pretty good, that's pretty awesome. Next up, Sephiroth. Sephiroth is old. 15 single target Dark Elemental and Dark Darkness Awakening mode. Break damage cap level 1 and 500 soul break points to the user. So it refunds the cost. Which is pretty good. Because Sephiroth gets some interesting soul breaks. Like a lot of interesting soul breaks. Like his Arcane. Which unfortunately does show up on this banner. So it makes you better able to cast that. While the awakening is up without any entrust help. Earlier? I don't know, whatever. Or you can cast his USB 1 to give him stacking. Yeah, into USB 1 or 2. He has a lot of good soul breaks, basically, that he can use those soul break points for. So that's pretty good for him. And Darkness Awakening is kind of interesting. Unlike these other characters, Darkness is a special ability school that has 2 focuses, 2 types, both physical and magical. Sephiroth can actually become a viable and very powerful Dark Mage with this Awakening. Possibly even with just his USB 2 because of the way Darkness works. But definitely with his Awakening. Pretty interesting. Noctis Arcane 2. It's just Tri-Elemental. It's good for the new Noctis. Deuce USB 3. Curaga Medica, high regen, high quick cast to party. Instant cast to self, and Cure Melody to user. Cure Melody is she uses a Medica every time she uses a dance or bard ability. I really like this USB. Rather than... See, this right here, if you switch that high regen to Regenga, this is Alara and Rosa's USBs. I, in a way, prefer this. Because Cure Melody will last 15 seconds and she can just... Bard abilities are really strong. After using Alara for like the past, how has it been, like a month? I understand now that Bard abilities are really, really strong. And there are many times where I almost... there's so many match site fights where I use dances with Alara as well. So just her ability to heal the party while being a support is awesome. So, and Deuce is a really good character with a solid legend dive. So I think Deuce turns into one of the better healers in the game, right up there with Alara and Aerith and Rosa at this point, which is kind of awesome. Cloud, 6-star Glint. It's basically his Glint, but for free. It is that, but for free. Once per battle. I hear that that's his Glint is pretty good with his USB 1. I'll be frank, I think I would be happier to see his Glint than his Awakening on this banner. Okay. Sephiroth Arcane, obviously, like, probably more powerful in his hands than in anybody else's hands other than Cloud. Because of how many damage boosts that Sephiroth has. Noctis Glint, crit damage plus 50%, quick cast to the user, instant cast. Well, that does help. Those issues that Noctis has... I'd rather break cap over 20,000, that's all. So, as a USB 1 holder, I am more interested in this. Anyway, that's really good for Noctis. Way back when it first came out. It's like, whatever, he does non-elemental damage, who cares? But this is good for him now. Next up, we have 5 LMRs. Cloud, physical damage with Sword Equipped. Good for him, because Cloud's LM2 has been removed from the game. Doesn't exist anymore. So him being able to do physical damage, or increase his physical damage over his Legend Materia 1 is good. Noctis, definitely also good for the same reasons. Not the exact same reasons, but still, an increase in damage over his Legend Materia 1. Squall LMR. Effect. It's interesting. Those are not on here. Thanks, Sissel. Squall quick cast 3 at the start of battle. I like it. Cloud, start battle with them, wind. Okay. That's, you know, quote, old. Yeah, quick cast 3 for Squall is interesting. I actually don't care for a lot of Squall's Legend Materias, except for his dual cast. So, being able to pair that with his dual cast sounds good to me. I don't know how I feel about Deuces. When using Bard abilities, 25% chance to grant user 30% heal boost. I think that's really good. That's gonna buff up those Bard Medicas for her USB 3. Is that 25% chance? Yeah. It's kind of low. What else it needs to do is happen once. Alright, well. This banner, I think Squall's awakening is kind of pretty dependent on his. I mean, it's a good awakening, regardless. Like the quick cast is actually pretty interesting because of that LMR. He can just straight up quick cast for the entire battle if he's able to awakening on third turn. And if that Blasting Freeze benefits from his break damage cap level 1, then that's obviously an awesome way to end the awakening. Sephiroth's stuff is extremely powerful for darkness, both physical and magical. Specifically physical because his arcane at least will only work for physical. Well, not necessarily. It may be so powerful that working at 30% effectiveness may still be really good. No, only 500. Though they can still only be cast once. Just like Arcanes. I think if they had cost 750, that would have made a lot of sense. I was very surprised when they first came out 3 months ago to find out that they cost 500. because they seem pretty powerful for that. Banner 4. Cypher Awakening, Tidus Awakening, Bart's Awakening. 2 of these are old with Tidus and Bart's. 1 of them is new with Cypher. 15 single target, Dark Fire and Elemental. Sorceress Knight Awakening mode, break damage cap level 1, switch draw mode. Egotistic Blade mode. I like the sound of that. That's a lot of modes. Sorceress Knight Awakening mode is Dark and Fire. Switch draw and fire after using fire abilities and dark after using dark abilities. That's kind of cool. After. Oh, I was immediately looking for an element glint because if he could get a stacking status on. It says he end darks after using dark abilities, so he could just get a stacking status and then use 2 dark abilities and have up to 3 stacks of end dark. But it looks like they were on to me, and they gave him an Imperil glint instead. Shucks. So Cypher deals fire and dark damage. And I believe he gets access to Samurai with this event, even though it's not listed here. Which is where he gets his... Yeah, no shit, Sissel. Where he gets his ability to deal fire damage. He does, good. Thought so. What's Egotistic Blade? After using 2 Dark or Fire abilities, chases with 8 single target. So that's awesome. That's great. I mean, as long as you're providing the necessary quick cast to your party, that's getting triggered at least 3 times during the Awakening. What's up, Blunder? Just chilling? Okay. Next up, Tidus. Well, Tidus is old, 3 months old. Already talked about this. It's the progenitor of the every 3 attacks overflow damage. Just almost guaranteed to do 100k. I did not forget it. I actually talked about it right before I went into going into Tidus. He just becomes incredibly good at dealing water damage, of course. It is Sharpshooter Awakening mode, so he can also deal fire and ice if he needs to. The thing is, though he can do that, it's probably kind of unlikely that he's going to be doing a lot of damage with those elements, because there's only 5-star abilities available for them. But who knows? Who knows? That's something I would personally need to test out. And the Ace Shot only triggers off of... Oh, no, it does trigger off for Sharpshooter abilities. And at least it is non-elemental. So, obviously he won't be dealing water to your damage, but, you know, in a pinch, he could contribute. Yes, yeah. As with all Awakenings, they have at least break damage cap level 1. And Egotistic Blade occurs during, for sure, for certain, occurs during the Awakening status. So they could potentially break cap. Don't know the multiplier on it, so it may not be powerful enough to break cap, but good regardless. Bart's Awakening is about as good as you can get for physical, because it's 6 element. It says 4 there. But because it's Spellblade Awakening mode, and it's Bartz, who's basically pure Spellblade rather than anything elemental down the line, he can do all of this with fire, water, earth, wind, ice, and water. What am I forgetting? Lightning. Ice and lightning. Pretty gross. No less gross now than it was 3 months ago. Gabranth Chain. We got a second Generation 2 physical Dark Chain. It goes on Gabranth, who is an interesting choice because the first one is on Cypher, and Gabranth actually has access to heavy dark, or heavy combat. So he's a different variety. A good one. Yuna Arcane, huh? Yuna Arcane. Rain's Arcane. It's even more weird. At least Yuna has a couple LMRs and a USB here. Rain's is just chilling out. Yo, my Arcane's on the banner. Alright, Yuna, USB... Is that 4? Cura Medica, High Quick Cast to the party, Last Stand to party. Instant Cast, Unholy, and Unholy Stack to the user. Whoa. I like that. I really like healers that don't heal with anything but their soul breaks. Ever since I started using Alara, it's basically just a retired Kurata most of the time for summons, dances, bard abilities, and Yuna can actually become a really powerful summoner while healing. It's pretty interesting. I like it. Yeah, it's only a Cura Medica, so she's going to need a little bit of help. But Last Stand helps. These are not live yet. Banner 1 is live. Bartz USB 3. 10 single target, wind elemental, and wind, essence of wind. What's this do again? After using wind abilities, grants physical high quick cast 1 to front row members and chases with 1, 5, 15, 1. Okay, and then it repeats. Single target wind non-elemental physical attacks. Well, geez. Well, they finally gave Bartz like a specialty element. I guess this is it. That seems insane in his hands. Cypher Glint, 6 single target, instant cast, minor, peril, dark damage, 10% to the user. It's fine. I like it. Nice LMR. Ugh. I hate this kind of LMR. 35% chance to grant quick cast 1. Thank goodness. It's such a reliable form of quick cast. That's plus 10 attack. Bart, Spellblade damage plus 25% with sword equipped. For the non-gamblers. Or those that don't have Bartz's LMR 1, which you could potentially buy with animal lenses if you would like. Gabrant start with Undark. Damn good for a chain holder. Yuna start battle with Unholy. Pretty interesting with this, as she could potentially just make a might out a USB and have 2 stacks of Unholy right away. And 25% chance to dual cast summoning abilities. Also, pretty good on her now. Before I wasn't that big of a fan because I didn't think she was that great of a DPS, but if they want to start giving us cool things, like things that can reliably heal and DPS, alright, I'm in. This is also a pretty interesting banner. No real rhyme or reason here. Oh, some Dark, some Holy, Water, Bartz, Rains. Decided to stop by, say hi. Last banner. Now, my inner fanboy alarms went off, seeing that Agrias got an awakening. Agrias, Celeste, and Zidane. Zidane is from the previous festival. Agrias and Celeste are new. 15 single target, Holy Non-Elemental, and Holy Night Awakening mode. Break damage cap level 1 and Divine Ruination. Holy Explosion, actually. So that's what it's really called. Night Awakening mode, unlimited Night Hones, Night Ability Boost, and Dual Cast Night. Big surprise. Divine Ruination. Inflicts single target minor imperil Holy after using 2 Night abilities. I do not believe that procs every time you take a turn and automatically dual cast. But it's still really good because she can, with her Legend Materia 2 and this, she's just going to imperil the crap out of the boss. No, their REMS refunds 250 soul break points. That's the closest. That's the closest that it comes. Sephiroth is the only one that does 500. So, Agrias is a support awakening, while obviously still doing a hell of a lot of damage. Because her ability to both end Holy and imperil deeply at the same time is going to cause her to do a lot of damage, and have someone like Celeste. No, not Celeste, because she's... yeah, I guess Celeste. Ice and Holy damage is Ice and Holy Awakening. But like Orlando. Orlando's going to go nuts paired up with someone like Celeste. Who needs chains anymore? Not Celeste, Agrias, jeez. So, Agrias' Awakening, not super powerful by itself, but could be super powerful with other good things on the team. Celeste Awakening, 15 single target, Ice Holy Non-Elemental. Magic Blink 1 to party. That's very interesting. That's totally unique, and I like that. I don't like it when they just copy-paste. Ice Holy damage plus 30%. Okay. Indomitable Awakening mode. Does she also get a rank boost? She does. Ice and Holy ability boosts on top of that. And dual cast. So this is kind of it replaces double and Holy. It's her version of the fire and dark switch that Cypher has. Well, that's a good thing, because Runic, you know, refunds uses, but Awakenings make it so nothing costs any uses. Break damage cap 1 and Awakened Runic. So I like it so far. Awaken Runic is, after using 2 Ice or Holy abilities, grants user Magic Blink 2. Okay. Chases with 5 single target Ice, Holy, non-elemental attacks if the user has a Holy or a Magic Blink. I really like this. I think it's unique. I think she's going to do a lot of damage with her two boosts. The Awakening boost and the boost on the Awakening entry itself. As well as she becomes indestructible except to those few abilities that that ignore Blink. I think it's great. I think it's on theme. It's powerful. And it's also viably defensive at the same time. I really like this Awakening. She is going to do less holy damage because almost her like dive is almost entirely Spellblade, but it's still going to be good. It's better than her current state of Night, which is 0. But her Awakening is going to give her holy damage plus 30%, and then an additional plus 30%. From the Awakening itself. So I really like that. Zidane. Zidane's is also unique. Endwind, Thief Awakening mode, break damage cap level 1, and 25% Thief Soul Break booster. I don't know how I feel about this one. I'm not sure he gets enough benefit from a 25% boost in Soul Break generation to match, like, chases. Like Celeste, you know, every 2 attacks she does, you know, her Magic Blink or her 5 hits, or Squall every... No, not Squall. Who else? Cypher? Yeah, with the Egotistic Blade, every 2 attacks do 8 hits. I don't know. Like, it's gonna depend heavily on what else you have for Zidane. None of that's on this banner. His glint is here, and that's alright. Well, this has been out for 3 months. Does anyone have any, like, insight into how useful this could be? You know, you're not really looking to use this for his arcane. You're probably going to be able to get that naturally. This is for adding in another Soul Break on top of that. Like, his USB 2 is a build-up. So casting that late in the fight probably not so great. USB 1 seems like the best pairing because it's instant returns. It depends on when you cast the Awakening, I suppose. Maybe this allows him to get his USB 2 off so fast that you can effectively use the build-up. And maybe that's the point of this. In which case is really good. Yeah, no, he's really good. Like, I'm just trying to, like, evaluate this by itself. Anyway, yeah, it's a really good Wind Awakening. And this is kind of weird. It's fine. It just like I mentioned above, it's fine if the boss lives that long. Celeste. Oh. Video, huh? USB's Roses appeared on last festival. It's an Alara clone. Obviously really good. Lightning's Holy USB showed up on the last Dissidia event. So Lightning's a Holy Knight. Surprise, surprise, surprise. If you haven't seen the last Dissidia event. 8 actually has like an old style USB, but it's one of those that's going to be enduring and good because it's instant cast. And by this time, Ice Monks, thank goodness, get a 6-star ability. It's just Ice Iron Fist. So instant cast Enites, Last Stand of Party. That's gonna be good, and Ice Crusher to the user, which is after using monk abilities, chases before attacks. Old styled USB, but still that's gonna be good for a while because it's got instant cast and Last Stand. Both pretty awesome effects. Zidane Glint, just a typical of stacking Glint. Augury's start battle with Unholy. This would be great for us now. 25% chance to dual cast, obviously really good. Celeste start battle with an Ice. What Celeste needs is 25% chance to dual cast something not Spellblades. So she is definitely an Ice character with a side of Holy. Because her entire dive is plus Spellblade. Her LMRs are all Spellblade. It stinks. She does have the ability to use Holy, but... Rosa, 25% chance to dual cast White Magic. Yes, obviously good. Lightning start battle with Unholy. Banner's a little weird. But I like it. Yeah, Snow's a monk and Lightning's a celerity character. Just like Celeste is a Spellblade. I don't mind that characters get additional, like, lesser kits. Like Lightning Holy. Snow has no lesser kit. But Celeste, Holy Knight. But it would do people well before going after their lesser stuff, like Lightning's USB 3, to just take a look at what their damage potential is and whether the base part of the character supports what they do. The thing about Lightning is it's plus lightning damage here. I'm just going to kind of make her fall behind other Holy characters, which there are many of. Many really good Holy characters. I guess it's kind of cool for her to use in the Torment, though, on a team with Hope and Reigns. The USB is good. I mean, this is a... What type is this? Someone up here had it. Oh, I forget. It's one of those 1.5/15s. Essence of Wind. Oh, Bart's USB 3. I don't mind her being a celerity character rather than Spellblade. So what I'd rather over 6-star Spellblade given to her would be a 6-star celerity ability. That's not Flash Disaster. Flash Disaster is a great ability, don't get me wrong, but it's a utility ability rather than a damage output ability. I would like a damage output ability for celerity. And so would Noctis. Alright. That's it. That's Banner 5. Impressions of Triple Awakening Fest, with one banner having 4 awakenings. Fest does seem good. Am I going to skip 4th anniversary for it? Hell no. It's just an advancement of power creep. I'm going to pull on 4th anniversary. I'm not going to go absolutely crazy on 4th anniversary. I'm going to spend a lot more than I usually would because I like all of the banners on it. Like, last festival, for instance. I think I spent 300. Festival before that, 400, 500. I think 1st anniversaries, or 4th anniversary is probably going to get 600 to 700 Mithril out of me. That would be a high estimate. I hope I don't have to spend that much. But, I mean, normally I go into festivals, not this festival. This is the bum festival that Global's currently in because it's the festival before 4th. Like, I can't look at the stuff that's on the banners right now and say, there's just such a jump between this festival and the next. That hasn't existed in the game since, well, 2016. Haven't seen a jump like this before. It's been a while. And then once 4th anniversary is over, then it becomes a normal rotation of, alright, festivals are cool. I'm going to spend more Mithril on festivals than I would events and carry on. Until 5th anniversary and hopefully 6th and 7th and... that would be well over my estimate for the lifespan of the game. But this is a pretty enduring IP. Yeah, if there's anything that this festival, like Negator's just brought up, if there's anything this festival kind of tells me, is that I'm going to be really, really, really tight on Mithril for the events between 4th anniversary and this one. Unless they have awakenings on them. But that was the case before this festival came out. And as long as those festivals aren't really covered by what, or those banners aren't covered by what the festival provides. So, no awakening, no awakening, no awakening. Rem's awakening. Orlando's awakening. Terra's revisited. Ash's awakening. And as Hot Drop just mentioned in chat, Ash is actually probably a banner I'm thinking of pulling on. As if you noticed, Final Fantasy XII is not well represented in that festival. So our and if, and that is a big if our festival is similar to Japan's, then Final Fantasy XII is still going to get passed over. So this would be a good place to go and get stuff, because not only is it something that's not covered well by the Summer Festival, but it does have an awakening on it for a pretty powerful character. Considerably upgraded, but yes, speedster. No, this is Lars's USB 2. It's actually really good. That's his version of the Alara USB. Kiraga Medica Party High Quick Cast 2. And Mixed Potion, which is also good. After using White Magic as support abilities, grants just a 1000 heal and Asuna to the party. This is better than any other healing soul break that Final Fantasy XII has. Ash's Ultra 2, what does that do again? Thunder of Innovation? Oh, grants high quick cast magic to back row members. After using three lightning abilities, grants lightning damage plus 10% to party. Wow. That's actually kind of an interesting USP. I love Vayne's Ultra 2. God, I love Vayne's Ultra 2. Party Instant Cast 1. Hybrid. What's the Brave? Is it just a typical Overflow Brave? Yeah. So you want to run that on a 3-turn rotation? Cast the Ultra, use an ability, use the Brave, cast the Ultra. I love that Ultra. That's banner 2. No Awakening. That doesn't exist. Banner doesn't exist. This is why I like Lars's USB 2 so much, is because it does a 1000 heal to the party even if you're using support abilities, so you can run him as an Entruster. After using the Ultra for the first time, which is actually pretty awesome. I don't think they have it yet. It's honestly baffling. I don't understand why Japan doesn't have the Brave 2. It's so good. It makes Braves, like, cool. I guess it's because we knew about Awakenings, so people stopped pulling for Braves. I don't know, because I don't think that the people that know about Awakenings are a very small subset of the players of the game. Alright. So I'm done taking a look at that. Yeah, Brave mode starts at 2 for global. Well, yeah. It's the same for any banner, though. Doesn't mean the banner has doesn't have a good chance of yielding a high-level soul break. Well, that's 6 months from now. It's, I can't imagine that there will be no new content coming out for Japan within the next 6 months. So we'll have time. No, I probably won't, Lou. We'll have time to look at the next content and figure out the best way to plan around tackling it. They have Odin at the moment, and Odin's pretty big, but not big enough. What's Red 13's Legend dive? 40% increased buff duration? No, that's his LMR. What's his... Probably not. Maybe. Like, the stats are always nice, and he is a chain holder. Oh, no, it is increase. His LMR has increased the duration of debuffs. Yeah. Red 13's dive stinks unless you just want to add defensive statistics to him, which honestly isn't so bad. Plus, I believe he's a Vitality Bravery dive, so he's not even, yeah, not even that big of a deal. Some people would even call that dive free. Yeah. He's a single Magicite boss that acts as all Magicite, kind of. All elements. So he takes on a vulnerability depending on what you attack him with. I believe that's how it works. And has different rewards depending on what you attack him with. Basically, the singular 6-star Magicite. Alright, do I want to continue the stream? That was a lot of talking. That was more talking than I was expecting to do. I might want to schedule the commentaries for another time. So, early this morning, I got a sub 30 on the Final Fantasy IX Magicite, or Torment. It is probably the best fight video I've ever made, for reasons I will not spoil. I just linked it in chat. And I was also going to do a commentary on Manticore, which is a really interesting fight, because it's pretty difficult to sub 30 that fight without a chain. I will be spending Mithril, a lot of Mithril on 4th anniversary. And I will save some for summer. That's how I'm running. You do you. So I'm a big fan of the Melty Gemini video because like Garnet uses her BSB1 as her soul break, and it was like very important to the fight. Any noteworthy banner before 4th anniversary? It's actually, thank you for mentioning that. Yes, there aren't many. I only know of one personally, and I need to change my next draw target to it because I think it's more likely than not that I will pull on it. And that is the next Final Fantasy VIII event. Congratulations, Anchor. It is pretty bad, isn't it? Well, you just stow it in the vault, and then it's gone forever. At least they don't cap us in the amount of record material we can throw in the vault. I need to find the banner for the Final Fantasy VIII event. I think I found it. That's true. No, Blender, don't leave. Buddy, stay. There we go. Next draw target has been changed. I cannot guarantee that I will pull on this banner, because there is a Laguna Celeste banner in the 4th anniversary. The problem is I may just snap if I am unable to kill Sildra reliably before the Final Fantasy VIII event. I may just snap and say that I need to pull for ice. This festival is not doing it for me as far as ice is concerned. That Final Fantasy VIII banner, that I feel a lot better about that. Yeah, I'm vulnerable to frustration chat, just like anybody else. That will be after Cold Offering is released. Maybe I find a way around the fight using Cold Offering. I have that ETA'd for the end of January, early February, Strider. Oh, and it would be Banner 2, not Banner 1, obviously. Rinoa Arcane, Squall Arcane, Laguna Chain, Rinoa USB, whatever, her Ice Brave. Selfie Ultra, Quistis Ultra. It's also a Torment banner, and that's what's important to me. I don't mind that Laguna's Chain is here, because I'm almost certainly going to be pulling on Laguna's USB 2 banner in 4th anniversary, and that's what I'll use for him for the Torment. Hopefully. I hope I get it. There's plenty on that banner there that's good for him. Like, I could just use Laguna with his Glint, and he'd be awesome. That's how good Laguna is. Yeah, well, we will see. I'm slow rolling it. You notice I'm leveling up the Mana Core right now. I could Arcana this whenever. And when this thing hits 99, I'll inherit to it, and then I'll have a Magicite to tackle Sildra with, and we'll see. We'll see. But I think I'm really just waiting for the fire abilities next week. Because once I get those, then I also will be able to easily kill Mateus. And once I have both Manticore and Mateus, I will have no choice but to progress. I dread Sildra, because I don't have a very good team for it. Despite the fact that I do have Snow's Chain. I don't have a single Ice Imperil to my name for a boss that kinda is desperate for an Ice Imperil, so I'd be forced to use the 5-star offering ability on machinists that I don't have. So I would basically have to use, like, Tyro? Tyro with BSB? Or just attempt to brute force through the resistances, which I don't really look forward to. The real frustration trap was releasing Sildra and Typhon without releasing the ice abilities. And releasing the ice abilities like more than a month away, that's a real dick move. I am more confident in my magic, mostly because Typhon doesn't resist itself. It does suck having 0 things for Laguna, who's basically the magic wand for Sildra. So that's why I would be pulling on the Final Fantasy VIII banner. Would be some good ice things and finally Laguna things. Plus his awesome LMR is on that banner too. So. Yeah, an old USB 1 would be great. Not as good as Laguna, but still good. But like I said, I have 0 Ice Imperils. None. Not even Laguna's Super Soul Break. Yeah, I love this music. I used to switch my menu music a lot, but this one is just... it blends in really well. I will never get angry at this music, or annoyed at it, so it's perfect for menuing. Alright. I did talk too much. Throat's getting scratchy, so I'll have to delay the 2 commentaries for another time. Probably not tomorrow. Saturday sounds good, though. Hopefully there's nothing going on Saturday that interrupts me. Oh, right. I gotta update my daily draws. Got another 6-star in a daily draw. Not a useful one. But hey, it was free. It's a 6-star for free. Think of it this way, Hot Drop, and that's what I'm going to think of it for SIDS. Animal lenses. When animal lenses come out and you get another one of those and you say, shit, I got a dupe. Well, no, you get a 6-star dupe. Which means you're one step closer to picking a USB of your own. Also, 6 stars are worth a lot of rainbow points. Yeah, look on the bright side, Iggy. There's no difference between getting a 1-star and a 4-star. Or a 2-star or a 3-star. They're all the same. They're all Gil. And it happens to all of us. I'm just making a highlight of the Summer Festival rundown. I love it when Blender has a bath. Alright. I'm gonna go rest. I hope everyone that pulled tonight had good pulls. And I'll be back in 2 days. For Banner 3. See you then for a double chain banner.